All right. Hi everyone. Welcome to Game Latte. So today I've got a few things to talk about. It's probably going to be a short show, and then following the Game Latte chat, I'm also going to host a Moogle Speak on Twitch as well. I just thought this was going to be a little bit easier for me to show you guys uh, what I'm talking about and show you the sites that I'm visiting and all that. When I'm trying to record without it being live, I find that I'm really limited because I'm getting used to Twitch right now. So, and Google Hangout as well. So, anyway, welcome. Today I'm going to talk about Bioware and Mass Effect 3. More than likely because that's what I've been playing lately. A couple things. So I've just finished Mass Effect 2, and I am playing Mass Effect 3 currently, which I'm having a ton of fun with. I'm actually enjoying it even more than the first time. I think it's because I don't know. I played Mass Effect 1 and then 2 like all together. So I think it's because it's fresh in my head and I'm kind of putting it all together. Also, I know what to expect from Mass Effect 3. So I think that might be helping a little bit. And yeah, and it's the game is so beautiful, and I forgot how much more. Oh, how awesome the combat is as well. And actually, I was playing Mass Effect 2, and when you play some of the downloadable content like Shadow Broker and Arrival, the way that those games are set up, or those expansions are set up, is they were playing around with the technique of how combat was going to be worked out and how they were going to do it in Mass Effect 3. So sometimes I found myself playing the end of Mass Effect 2 and trying to roll out of the way and do certain things that you are able to do in Mass Effect 3 that you can't in Mass Effect 2. So that was kind of funny. And hi, how are you doing? Somebody says hello. Hello. And yeah, so if I know you, I'm sorry if I don't remember your username. It might be different from the one that I'm used to seeing you as. So hi anyway. Kurian Herman. But yeah. So a couple of things I want to talk about Mass Effect. Oh yeah, there was an article. There was a very interesting article recently on the 360 magazine. I believe it was a magazine. Oh, there it is. So it's the official Xbox magazine. So yeah, and basically the headline was, well, I'm gonna switch to. I'm actually gonna show you that to you guys. How, da, 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 da. Oop, sorry. I wanted to show you that. I forget that this is Twitch and not Google. Yeah, Google Hangout. So you can't just switch over to share. So that adds screen region. Yes, which is gonna be this one. So there you go. I don't know if you guys are seeing this. Okay, so Bioware Lessons of Mass Effect 3. Okay, so Bioware Lessons of Mass Effect 3. Hi, Emmanuel. Yeah, I thought that was you. I wasn't too sure. Okay, so this article here is Lessons of Mass Effect 3 Ending Backlash will be built into our future games. We underestimated how attached people would become to the characters, says Casey Hudson. So, Bioware took a pummeling during the controversy over Mass Effect 3's underwhelming ending. No kidding. But as far as key creatives are concerned, that's all for the good. Speaking to OXM in an enormous series retrospective penned by US editor Francesca Reyes, BioWare's Casey Hudson, Dusty Everman, and Mike Gamble, whatever, have admitted that they underestimated fan demand for closure and have promised to do better with subsequent releases. Well, gee, I sure hope so. Except that you're all really missing the point. The Citadel downloadable content, downloadable expansion, I guess, was a way for BioWare to hold on. Okay, now I want this to go away. Gosh darn it! I'm like totally unprepared for this. Ah. So we're just gonna put it aside. All right. So, thing with this whole ending controversy is, oh yeah, so the Citadel downloadable content was made for fan service. Basically, it was to appease the fans that were unhappy with the closure of their NPC characters, their lovers or whatever, love interests, whatever, and which is nice, but it's not the real issue. It's not the real problem why people were so unhappy with Mass Effect 3. And the problem is because of the retarded way the ending happened. And by retarded, I mean they introduced a completely different device, completely different theme to the game that does not follow Mass Effect 1 and 2. And that's how they decided to wrap the game up, and it made no sense. That was the real problem. That's what really pissed people off. It wasn't really so that, Shepard died. It wasn't because of that. It wasn't because we didn't get to say goodbye to everybody. It wasn't because, you'll never get to marry your love interest. That's not really the crux of the issue. The problem was that they introduced a completely new ideology that they didn't really not set up with. Also, the thing with Mass Effect 3 is it very clearly from the very beginning of Mass Effect 3 goes with a lot of indoctrination. Indoctrination is a huge theme of the game. And that was, I guess, the original intent of the ending was that there was going to be some indoctrination mechanics, but they couldn't get it to work in time, so they cut it out. They cut that part out. And so you were supposed to have a big battle against the elusive man at the end where he's completely under Reaper control. And we kind of get that, but not really. You just get a dialogue thing, and it's not really. He was supposed to be a boss fight, and to be much more impressive than what we got. And just the whole ending really was kind of a letdown. It's because they ran out of time. Why did they run out of time? Maybe because EA was pushing their butts. That seems to be the original consensus of the Bioware forums, was because of Electronic Arts pushing out this release. The ending was just ended up being absolutely terrible. I can see the little screen. I know you can. It's okay. I don't mind. You can see my little desk up at the bottom there. Because I'll just bring it back up later anyway. So, yeah. So, I was very, I don't know. I've been very underwhelmed with this article. It's nice that they acknowledge that they've made mistakes. I mean, that's always a good step in the right direction. But it's not really admitting the entire problem. It's not. So that kind of still left me pretty lukewarm. I mean, it's nice that they'll think about character closure in the next game, Mass Effect 4, Mass Effect Next, or what the hell it's called, going to be about even. So that's cool. But it would be better if they just acknowledge that they just dropped the ball. Or that they to admit that they actually changed the ending anyway because of time constraints. I mean, I think people would have been more forgiven if they just come straight out and said it, but they didn't, and they weren't going to do any extra work really to fix it or to add more to it or anything. They tried with the free extended cut, and honestly, that doesn't really do much of anything in my opinion. It was nice of them to do that, but they could have spent more time and doing like an extended version or something like that. The people would have waited for something that was really quality to wrap up the ending. But whatever. And I think this is why there was actually I'll try to find it here. There was a group of people from the Bioware social network who went and made their own site. I think it's called Hold the Line. Yeah. Let me just get it here. Oh my goodness, what the heck? Hold the Line. Mass Effect. I'm not finding. Oh, there. There it is. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys right here. So this is Hold the Line community, and it was made so that they were trying to get to pressure, I guess, or trying to make a point to Bioware that there was enough support out there for an alternate ending to Mass Effect 3, or for there's enough people, enough community support for it, or for an extended one, or whatever, to basically change the ending so that it wasn't so black and white, or so it wasn't black and white, it was red, blue, or green. What was the option? And to have it more as it was originally intended, or I don't know. So this is what this is right here. So Coolio. Oops, so you get to see the double stuff. But yeah. So I mean, it's not like they were saying, I know a couple of months ago they were saying, oh, it was just a minority of our fans that were upset. You guys actually spurred an entire new site. A whole part of the community that left the BSN network and started their own because they were so upset. You're telling me this is a vocal minority? No, come on. And these are people that are willing to get organized and pay for a new website. I mean, I really think like they're still understating what the problem was, and that wasn't really Bioware. Actually, it was one of the founders, one of the doctors. I can't remember who, but he was having a conference, and somebody asked him about what they learned from the outrage of the ending of Mass Effect 3, and he said, "Oh, that was just a vocal minority, and that were really that upset." I'm like, not really, not really. So anyway, moving on from that though, actually about that, so I just talked about that, the Catalyst Kid and indoctrination. And okay, so let's talk about actually my book I've been reading. I'm still been reading the same book. It's called The Warded Man, and I'm pretty much going to be done by the time I do another Game Latte video. And right now I gotta say I do recommend it. It started off kind of weak, and then in the middle it got kind of interesting, where I was, like I said in the last show, I was getting really hooked into this book, and now I actually really really like it. Towards the ending it's getting a lot stronger, so I have very good feels, or I have very good feeling about the second book, which I think is out or coming out or whatever. No, I think the second book is out. So yeah, I forget the name of the author right now, but it's like, again, it's not high fantasy. It's kind of like not sci-fi, but it's like alternate fantasy or whatever. It's like an alternate reality, and where there's demons rule the earth. And yeah, it's getting very very strong. The little kid, that the boy that's the main character, starts off as a child, and then you can get to see him grow up and see what happens to make him into the person that he becomes, who, if, obviously he becomes the warded man. He puts up symbols on himself to be able to ward off demons. The wards are like these magical weapons, or boundaries or whatever, that bounce off demons, that, or some, if they use on a weapon, could actually kill them. So but a lot of the demon lore in this book has been forgotten, because there was, I was saying too before that I had the notion that the book was kind of like 300 years after our own civilization fell, like our modern civilization. But no, it looks like it was its own magical civilization that they had, and then science kind of took over magic, and then because they relied too much on science and the demons kind of went away for a while, when the demons came back and attacked again, they couldn't remember how to use the wards, so that civilization completely died out. But it was a completely different fantasy like civilization, it wasn't our own. So yeah, I just wanted to correct that. And yeah, so I highly recommend The Worded Man. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, it starts pretty slow, but don't give up on it. It gets better. And I have high hopes for the trilogy. I believe it's a three-parter book. So I'm just gonna look up the Warded Man right here. The Warded Man movie. What? There's a movie? Um, book. So yeah, it's by Peter V. Brett, and that's the cover I have. And it's pretty freaking good. It's pretty freaking good. So I really like it. I don't know. Um, yeah, this one here. This guy here. Brilliant! With action and suspense all the way! Terry Brooks says. Okay, well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it's brilliant. I mean, it's pretty much quality, usual fantasy quality. It's normal quality. It's not like extremely awesome or anything, but it does the job and it's very, very entertaining. So I liked it. I liked it a lot. So that's what I have to say about The Warded Man. It's very cool. All right. Sorry, you guys. I wasn't really prepared for this show. I just was kind of like a hair on the soup here. I came home, I ate, and I was like, I just gotta do this right now. And I forgot about my intro, but I'll put the intro as an outro. Whatever. What else? Oh, I forgot to pick an older game too. Let's just talk about. I've been thinking about Final Fantasy a lot lately, and actually, there is news. One of my favorite Final Fantasies of all time, Final Fantasy VIII, is being re-released again for the PlayStation 3. So it's going to be on the PlayStation 3 store as a download, I believe. And I don't know if it's remastered or what, but remastered HG or anything like that. But I'm really excited about it. I might just get it. Uh, Release date? No, I want like the re-release. Oh, I can't forgot where I saw it. But anyway, so re-release. Square Steam re-release Final Fantasy. Anyway, I'm not finding it right now, but it's definitely coming out on the PlayStation Store. So look out for that. It's gonna be so awesome. And so Final Fantasy VIII is actually my favorite Final Fantasy of all time. I played 7. I have not played 6 though. And everybody tells me I should play 6 because that's the best above all of them. But I haven't played any of the older Final Fantasies. The eldest one I played was 7. So I played everything 7 after. So I'm one of those new kid Final Fantasy fans, I guess. That good, especially I know somebody who was trying to make a fan club of the game Final Fantasy VIII. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of really dedicated fans out there that just love 8. I think it's everywhere from the artwork to the characters to the story. I thought the story was really original for the time that it came in. I liked that it was a softer, that it was a love story primarily. And it actually was the first Final Fantasy I've ever played, so maybe that's why it's my favorite, or helps anyway, helps to make it my favorite. I played 7 after it, and I actually was surprised at how much I enjoyed 7 because I thought the graphics were not that good, but the story of 7 really hooked me from the very beginning and wouldn't let go until trying to beat freaking Sephiroth at the end there. It's just such a pain in the ass trying to get into that ravine or whatever. This crazy crater thing. I don't know. And yeah, but 7 was definitely, I don't know, I think the aesthetics was just kind of really out there. I love the architecture of the ships and the buildings, and everything was just so futuristic and cool. I mean, if you play Final Fantasy 13, it's by the same atmospheric or environmental designer. They share the same designer, and you can really tell that it's kind of similar. So, and some of my favorite characters, I thought Squall was my least favorite character because he was the main character protagonist, and I thought he was such a baby all the time. I was like, shut up, and we made fun of him all the time. But I love Rhinoa and Selphie And oh, I forget the names of the guys. The guy with the shotgun, with the cowboy hat, he was cool. And I really liked him actually. He was definitely my favorite. After well, my favorite after Renoa and Selfie. And then there was the teacher girl too with the whips. Quistis. Oh god, Quistis is my favorite too. She was pretty awesome. The Final Fantasy VIII junction system. Oh, Irvine, yeah. Yeah, I mean Irvine. That's right. He was awesome. What do you think of Final Fantasy VIII junction system? I can't even really remember how that played like, but I think I remember. Sorry, yawning. I think I remember really liking it. And what was the junction system anyway? Was it with the primal, not the primals, the summons and stuff like that? And it was kind of interesting on how they were all seed students and they could all have these summons or whatever, and it was a very interesting take. I think everything was really kind of original about Final Fantasy VIII. More so, I don't know, than the other ones. I guess it was kind of out there a little bit. It was definitely more science fiction than fantasy. Although there was a lot of fantasy, but it was definitely very sci-fi compared um, to seven. Well, even seven was more post-apocalyptic than sci-fi, I found, and then everything else before that was really fantasy. But yeah, anyway, that's basically what I want to talk to you guys about on this game latte. And then what I'm gonna do is take a little break. You need Guardian Forces to do anything in battle in Final Fantasy VIII. Oh, okay. Gosh, I don't even remember. It's been so long, but if I get to play it again, I'll definitely talk more about Final Fantasy VIII. We'll see how much time I have. If Final Fantasy 14 doesn't take all my time here. Of which, I'm going to segue, I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to come back with Moogle Speak, which will be awesome. Stay tuned, I'll be ready for that one. And I'm going to, like, totally outro myself. Check this out.